Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Kabuto Sumo. This is designed by Tony Miller. It has Quanchai Moria artwork, and it is published by AllPlay, formerly known as BoardGameTables.com.
In this game, it's got the very relatable theme of beetle fighting.
Very relatable. We've all been there. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Am I
My
right?
beetle fighting club has been meeting for years now. This was fit right in with everything. What's happening is you have those beetles. They're fighting in kind of a sumo wrestling way. They're trying to control the middle of the board and knock other people off. It uses a coin pushing style mechanism, which is very unique in order to kind of make that happen. All right, let me give you a quick overview of how to play. All right, here's our setup for Kabuto Sumo. Basically, there's different setups for 2, 3, and 4 players. We're set up for a 2-player here. We have our individual pieces right there. Those are kind of representing our sumo characters, our bugs. Then we also have all these different kind of other circles around the board there as well. They're kind of just acting like coins that we're going to be pushing around. I've kind of already picked out some characters, but there are a ton of characters to choose from. They all have their own special abilities. Some are specifically for the Junior League, which is kind of like the dumbed-down kids version, which is still very fun. There's all these different characters that have special abilities, different starting abilities they start with, and also different starting items that they're going to be able to achieve as well. And then if you add on the Insect All-Stars, there's a whole bunch of more characters. They all have new special abilities, new items, lots of new ways to play, and new ways to knock each other out of the ring. So again, the real goal of this game is to knock your opponent out of the ring, knock them off of the table. And we're going to do that by moving around this little piece right here. This is kind of like the loading dock, if you will. We're going to be taking these coins over here in our supply, and we're going to be pushing them into the middle of the circle, trying to knock off some other coins so we can use those as kind of more future turns, more ammunition, if you will. Ultimately trying to knock them out. So let's take this in here, and let's kind of push it in there and see what happens. Okay, so nothing fell off over there. When you put your token in, you have to put it in a straight line from this little area right here. All right, so now it's going to be our opponent's turn. They're going to be able to take this and put it around the circle however they want. And now it's their turn to push. Okay, so still we haven't knocked the thing off yet. There we go. Okay, so those things were knocked off. Those are going into that player's supply so they can use them on future turns. A lot of the special abilities will involve you paying tokens that you've acquired in order to achieve either your own token that you can use or some other special ability. And that's really all there is to the game. There's 2 ways to win the game, though, however. The first one is a knockout, which is, again, what we talked about, knocking your player out of the ring. But there's also a submission. And a submission is when it's a player's turn, however, they don't have any tokens to push. In that case, they're completely out of tokens, and they lose the game by submission.
So Brad and I learned the game on just like the one-on-one, and then we decided, you know what, we should play with our girls. We should do a team thing. It was so funny. We have it all set up, ready to go, and then our youngest doesn't understand, like, at first the coin pushing thing, so she jams it in there. Everything falls off, and she goes, "Yay! We win!" It was like, no kid, that's not how the game is played. I mean, once we retaught that and was like, this is what we mean by pushing it, it was totally fine. I'm just always going to have that memory with this game, and I love that I have that memory. Also, all the Beatles have this Junior League side, and so you can have an easier version to play with, especially if you're playing with younger kids or you don't want to add all that extra stuff in there. So it was great, and kids, once they understand the dexterity, are just sometimes a lot better than adults at dexterity. It's because they have really tiny hands. I don't know if that's the real reason, but I feel like sometimes
I think they take risks that we're not willing to take.
Yes, oh my God, it's so
don't
funny.
Understand physics.
So funny to watch kids play dexterity games. They do wild things. You're like, it's not going to work, and then it works. So then you try it and you fail all the time.
I loved all the different Beetle characters that they used in this game. A lot of them had kind of like tie-ins or like references to famous professional wrestlers. So there's all these characters that I knew from like the WWE growing up or whatever that they were in Beetle form in this game, and I thought that was really clever, really fun. It's a way to get the theme brought out. It's also kind of hook people that were more familiar with that world, and they would have little Easter eggs where they could kind of find in these cards, which was a lot of fun.
Also, the components were just really, really well done. I mean, mainly it's just all these discs on the board, but it looks super cool. And the special peaches, pieces.
The peaches in this game are top-notch
Top
peaches.
notch.
Juicy.
But even like the board that they're all on, there's like artwork all around the edge of the board, so everything you see has artwork on it, and it just looks super cool when it's all set up like that.
I like that because of the theme, this game is extremely intuitive to learn and to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's once you get set up, you are able to explain the game in a matter of seconds. And then same thing with gameplay. All it is a very simple motion or movement,
Yeah.
and that's all there is. All it takes to play. Very easy to teach, very intuitive to learn, and you're ready to play almost immediately after setup. I think that was a very clever set of rules.
Overall, our kids loved this game. For me, I liked it. I thought the amount of time it took to set up, I didn't think was equal maybe to the gameplay. That could have just be a Bethany thing.
I was one setting it up. What are you talking about?
Me watching him set up, taking too long.
It was my fault. Everything's my fault.
But our kids really liked it. Whenever we played it, they wanted to play again immediately after. Like, regardless of who won. It wasn't like they needed to beat the other person or anything like that. They were just like ready to do this again, and I think that's a really good sign.
I agree. I think this has an extremely unique theme. It is clever. It is simple. It is fun. It's light, but it's kind of this party atmosphere. Everything's just very silly. You can try to do it strategically, but ultimately it's going to come down to some silliness too, which is a lot of fun. It matches everything. I will also add that the Insect All-Stars expansion adds a bunch of new characters. They all have their own special new components. They all have their own matching little special item or whatever, you know, that they get to use in their own way of interacting with the board with those special items. I think that was if you are a big fan of Kabuto Sumo and you're looking for a little bit more variety, Insect All-Stars is going to give you extra characters to work with, so that way every time you play, you can try a new person out.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.